Thanks so much for joining us here at 5. I'm John Adams. We're going to start with the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office recovering yet another body from an area waterway. This was the scene around 3 this afternoon, just north of the Steel Bridge in downtown Portland. After the body is recovered, the Sheriff's Office will take it to the medical examiner to find out their identity and cause of death. This is the 6th body pulled from Portland waterways in the past 30 days. The Sheriff's Office previously said they have no reason to believe any of them are connected. The new Clackamus County courthouse is almost open and ready for business. Our Celine Stevens was there this morning during the ribbon cutting for the new $313 million building. And Celine, how is it?
John, well, it's impressive. It's 6 stories and 257,000 square feet and will be open to the public as soon as May 19th. More importantly, it's replacing the old courthouse with the goal of providing a new, safer and efficient place for those seeking justice for the growing population of Clackamus County.
And this will last generations and generations.
A new and improved Clackamus County Courthouse was celebrated during Saturday's ribbon cutting. Former and current county officials, judges, and more came out to see the new building, which broke ground in early 2023. The hope for a new courthouse has been alive since the 60s.
There were 50,000 people in Oregon at the time, and all our departments at the county were in that building. Now there's over 400,000, and that building just could not accommodate that.
The need evident now more than ever due to Clackamus County's growing population, but also for safety reasons.
People walked in the same pathways as prisoners. As you know, there was no separation between the judges and the prisoners.
It's less than a foot from falling off the edge into the river. That's not going to happen most likely, but it's been a dangerous situation for years. It's a building you don't want to be in unless you have to.
The new courthouse, impressive compared to the previous one.
Well, it's about 6 stories. It's 257,000 square feet. Some people say it's opulent. It's not really opulent.
When it comes to the cost, former chair of Clackamus County Board of Commissioners Tootie Smith reaffirmed the $15 million payments per year for the courthouse will be done without raising taxes.
We saved money. We implemented a chart of accounts. That means every department at Clackamus County had to allocate for every single dollar they spent. There was no wasted money.
The funding also came from a 50% match from the state. The expectation, once it opens on May 19th, that it'll serve the community for the next several decades.
It's very, very indicative of Clackamus County, and I'm very proud of that.
As for what happens to the old courthouse, according to the county's website, that's still undetermined. A committee made up of members from Oregon City and the county are preparing a report to provide recommendations to help the board decide. John?
Our Celine Stevens tonight. Celine, thank you so much for that report. All right, turning now to weather. A cool start to our Saturday morning, but temperatures warmed up with even some peaks of blue skies poking through. You can see some right there. Meteorologist Joe Ranieri is joining us now. Joe, how are things looking heading into the evening tonight?
Well, heading into tonight and all day tomorrow, you're going to be looking at clear skies out there. There's one little place that's dealing with some showers and some thunderstorm activity. That's along the northeast side of the state, really along parts of the Washington and Oregon border there. You've been picking up a little bit of some lightning strikes and some thunderstorms. We're not going to be impacted by that on the west side of the state. We do have that frost advisory that will be in place late tonight and into tomorrow throughout parts of the central and southern part of the Willamette Valley. Salem South, you're going to be looking at temperatures right around that freezing mark. So you want to wrap up some plants and bring them indoors if you can. I know it's early May, but still not out of the realm of possibilities to see freezing temperatures in a few locations. Tomorrow, the cycling forecast looks really nice. Kind of a chilly start in a few locations tomorrow morning, but we are going to remaining dry over the next several days. As we look at futurecast here, we're going to be seeing those clouds kind of push off to the east late tonight and into tomorrow, and then most of tomorrow we're going to start off with a lot of sunshine. There will be some areas of low clouds throughout the central and southern part of the Willamette Valley. But before I toss it back to you, John, check out this crazy figure. Thursday night, More than 7 million migration birds were coming in from just from May 1st. That's how many birds crossed Oregon. Now, we're in the middle of peak spring migration, which goes until about the 19th of this month. That's why conservation groups are calling on people to participate in Lights Out Oregon. It's simple. At night, you just turn off unnecessary outdoor lighting, close those curtains and blinds for rooms where lights are in use. And this one's kind of optional if you'd like, but get outside and enjoy the night sky. Reducing light pollution helps birds migrate safely. And again, I just showed you the forecast. You will be seeing clear skies. You might be hearing some birds high above, but the one thing you're not going to have to worry about the next few days, any precipitation. I'll talk more about your detailed forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Joe, thank you. We'll see you later in the show. Developing this evening, Vancouver police are investigating a deadly assault. Officers were called to Southeast French Road, just west of 19th Street, just after 4 this morning. There they found a man seriously hurt. He was taken to the hospital but died of his injuries. No word at this point of any arrests. Also in Vancouver, officers arrested a man for child sex crimes following a tip from the FBI. They were informed yesterday after a search warrant in Utah uncovered an online chat room centered around child pornography. They identified Caleb Mormance of Vancouver as a suspect. He's now booked into the Clark County Jail on 17 felonies, including rape of a child and multiple child exploitation charges. The investigation continues. And back in Portland, a driver was cited for DUI after his vehicle crashed into an apartment building. This was the scene just after 3 this morning near East Burnside and East 72nd. Fortunately, no one was hurt. There's cargo chaos in Washington state as suppliers race to beat a looming wave of tariffs on foreign goods. At the port of Everett, shipping containers are on the move. Stockpiles are growing as businesses brace for uncertain change. Sebastian Robertson has the story.
The Port of Everett is much smaller than the Port of Seattle, and they find themselves playing more of a support role as they rush to get thousands of shipping containers to other parts of the country and the state that desperately need them. A trainload of empty cargo containers is heading south from Everett, sent to help store a growing surplus of goods entering the U.S. from around the world as global suppliers rush to beat the looming tariff deadline.
They're pre-buying like we saw during the COVID-19 pandemic, and so those containers are now moving domestically, getting ready to move product throughout the nation in our supply chain.
The Port of Everett is actively moving 2,800 empty containers to other parts of the country. Under new Trump administration policy, most countries will pay more to export goods to the U.S. China facing the steepest hike, with tariffs as high as 145%. It's a cost many fear will ultimately be passed on to consumers.
This is not a light switch. They can just turn it on and off. The uncertainty our small and medium-sized businesses are having are whether or not they're even going to be able to stay in business throughout the year.
Port officials in Seattle and Tacoma are anticipating a slowdown when the president's tariffs ultimately go into effect as expected. Lawmakers sounding the alarm as well.
Few people understand better than our ports that you don't need these tariffs to last very long for them to have a very big impact.
Back in Everett, port officials say they're used to adapting to change, and they're ready to weather the storm should it arrive as predicted.
I would say, looking back, when tariffs were threatened in 2018, we saw a 14% decline in port cargo, and that was just with the threat and with not as wide-reaching tariffs as we're seeing now. So we do suspect there will be impact, but really we won't know the level of that impact until the rubber meets the road with the revenues and total ship calls at end.
Back in Portland last night, Mayor Keith Wilson gave his first State of the City address. He acknowledged Portland Public Schools' massive budget shortfall, but also noted momentum in the Rose City, like the city's efforts to bring in Major League Baseball and rebuild the Portland Mercado, and plans to open the James Beard Public Market downtown. On Monday, Wilson will release his first city budget. He says it's focused on getting the city back to basics amid its $93 million budget gap.
My budget prioritizes core services, community assets, public safety, and green leadership. We're also going to strengthen funding to clean our streets, fill our potholes, and remove graffiti.
Amid federal actions, the mayor said Portland is holding fast as a sanctuary city and remains focused on ending unsheltered homelessness. Opening day at the Gresham Farmers Market brought the crowds out for the market's 39th year. The market runs from the first Saturday of May to the final Saturday of October. There are plenty of gifts and goodies for customers to browse through and take home. Flowers and plants are scattered throughout the market and tons of food to snack on there. You can try the old family recipe cheesecake at Mason's Delights. In total, the Gresham Market features 170 vendors, and organizers have the goal of growing it to nearly 200. Some of the products are made right on the street while you shop.
I am working on a finger crocheted pet bed. I use 100% polyester yarn to do it, finger crochet. I've made over 3,000 of them in the last 4 years.
The marketing manager wants to grow the event to the biggest, most vibrant farmers market in the area, even larger than Vancouver's or Beaverton's. He said they make sure to offer a wide variety of options for shoppers. Dogs are welcome on a leash, and there are produce discounts for those in need.